Bam! And we're live. Get out of here. Get out. Okay.
My microphone needed. There we go.
Hey, everybody. Diverge Media Live. I guess I got to be professional and do the intro here. Greg Staley, co-owner Diverge Media. On the other side, we have
Broderick Visser, other co-owner, and joined by my hideous brother.
You don't be so hard on yourself, bud.
Oh.
All right. Tonight we got
Didn't have a joke.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pookie. Okay, tonight we have a fun video. Oh, God, so you got me all flustered, man. Tonight we have a fun live stream. We're talking about the Rockefellers. Okay. Operation Lockstep. We're going to save that. I don't know if anybody's had time to read my article. Posted a little bit late because somebody got to the edit a little bit late. Not pointing fingers, but it's definitely not this guy.
You're the one that came to my house.
So many rules. So I got a video. Let's wait. No, not yet. This is what happens. Okay, so bam, turn this up. Boom. Rocco Galati, Tectonics on the global agenda and media collusion. Quick clip.
It's a criminal code offense. If it doesn't have criminal aims but still hurt somebody, we have in Canadian law the tort of conspiracy. Like we have assault and we have all the negligence and everything else. Tort of conspiracy.
Shut up.
Two or more people agree with legal means with the intention of causing harm, that's actionable. Or if two or more people agree with with illegal means to cause harm, that's actionable. Or if two or more people agree with legal means where they knew or ought to have known would cause damage to somebody, that's also an actionable conspiracy in civil law. So,
all right. So I just wanted to introduce that. Talking about conspiracies, everybody's obviously quick to write it off, but he goes into connect it to the CIA. It was actually an original CIA tactic to call things conspiracies so that people wouldn't continue to ask the question. Now, he said conspiracy under the law is an agreement of two or more people with the effect of damaging somebody else. So I thought I'd bring that in. And then we're going to talk about media bias again. Obviously, the Rockefeller story they're not covering well, but they're not going to cover it all. But the next one, there is so many just riddled with errors today, or riddled with so many questionable things that were said at the presser for the Ontario COVID announcement. And we're just going to find that video quick here. Going to pull it up. But he made a comment about freedom fighters. And I thought you would like to get a look at the face of the gentleman in the back, not the far left, but the gentleman standing with the blue suit and tie in front of the doctor there, across from Christine Elliott. Yep, full screen.
The blue suit tie.
Yes.
Local team, all 34 of them will have their local opinions on that. But I think they've been very pragmatic. They really have. You know, I hear I forget what they're called, the group that goes out, Freedom Fighters or something. They're showing up to my house. I get all these groups in front of my house. He's
smiling.
I don't care. You know what
smiling
bothers me about that is my neighbors. They have all little kids.
Dead serious.
And you got some Freedom Fighters, whatever that means. I don't even know what they're up about, but there's going to be 100 of them. Guys, just to let you know, I won't be at home tomorrow, so give my neighbors some respect. I love them, my neighbors, and I apologize to my neighbors. This is happening to them.
So this happened today.
That's it.
Follow up.
Yeah, it was a painful presser. It really was. But freedom fighters. You see the guy smile in the back? Can I get that again real quick? Maybe I should.
Is the guy putting his head down?
No, yeah, he's putting his head down here. I'm going to play it again. You didn't see it.
I can't really catch him, man. Like,
Full screen.
Rid the full-
As he says, freedom
Get
fighter.
rid of us and make that full screen on the cast so I can see this better.
Yeah, go full screen, just the video. All right, so keep a look at him as he's saying freedom fighters. He flashes a pretty big grin. Then he looks up dead serious as the professional he is.
Yeah, you hear I forget what they're called, the group that goes out, Freedom Fighters or something.
Smile.
They're showing up to my house.
Right.
Don't really.
My house.
Now.
Guys, I don't care. You know what bothers me about that is my neighbors. They have all little
Dead
kids.
serious.
Freedom Fighters.
Yeah, you're seeing the show within the show now.
Maybe.
All right. No. I watched that for a full hour today. Who's the other doctor? The guy in the back. Let's go pop the screen up here. So the gentleman on the far right and the gentleman we were just pointing out both seem to not really agree if you're just studying body language with a lot of what was said, to the point where I could actually see the doctor I was just pointing out, I believe Dr. Corner, I can't remember his position, but actually shaking his head notably no to certain things that Doug was saying. So, yeah. Go through that again. But Trump tested positive. Oh, no.
I'm sure.
No.
I haven't really seen all the tweets, but there's a whole thread on it. Hashtag pray for Trump. I'm sure there's many people out there wishing his death. I'm sure there's many people out there hoping for his speedy recovery and such, right?
Yeah, that was a pretty milquetoast comment.
I thought I had something else to say about that.
Well, the left's going crazy. And there was a meme I seen of SpongeBob. I couldn't find it. I was trying to find it. But it said, will Trump condemn hate? And it was talking about the white supremacist comment at the debate. And then there was a comment that said, Trump gets COVID. And then it was SpongeBob on the bottom. He's like, I hope Trump dies. And it's kind of the left today. I mean, that's basically about where the dialogue's at. Will he condemn hate? I don't know. But I also found where'd it go. I thought this was.
I got some videos on this.
Okay. Do you see my meme yet?
Yeah.
It was pretty mean, but that's not a good picture. Okay. Oh, there's always a camera everywhere.
I got a video from him, 18 seconds.
Give her.
At the White House.
I want to thank everybody for the tremendous support. I'm going to Walter Reed Hospital. I think I'm doing very well, but we're going to make sure that things work out. The First Lady is doing very well. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will never forget it. Thank you.
And I like to point out the fact when they were getting to the helicopter to go to the hospital, a journalist tweeted on Twitter that he did not take any questions. Yeah, leave him. And then one of our followers tweeted at him, "Leave him alone. He's clearly sick." It's like, oh no, he didn't stop for questions.
What I found was interesting though about the whole arrangement was the fact that he has medical staff at the White House. I don't know. I haven't seen him, but he was just in the debate not that long ago. So unless he took a quick churn, but he went to military hospital. Did you see that?
Yeah,
he got flown to military hospital. I found that odd because I kind of got thinking, I'm like, why would you go to military hospital? Not a knock on the military. They do a fantastic job, but you have all this expert help around you. Why go to the military hospital, right? I just thought it was odd. Do you have that Hillier?
I actually have something from Steven Crowder. He went to one Trump's rally today. It's not long and it's nothing him talking.
Can I be real? I tried to watch the debate through his channel and I had to shut it off after like 3 minutes. It's like, I know you think everything. I guess I got to be careful.
He talks a lot.
He just kept talking over.
I know he talks a lot. That's the problem. I don't like people who do that. But
what are you saying?
This is him at a rally that Trump is supposed to do, I believe, and he just kind of stops it and does.
Turn it up.
Take like 5 seconds to say prayer for the guy. That's okay. Lord, we pray for President Trump and family for a swift recovery. That he'd be one of those people with fighter symptoms who come through this. And you know what? We also pray for Governor Whitmer. right? Like we're involved today for recovery and for the recovery of creation. Speaking of people who trespass against us,
That's an interesting. How many seniors? Whitmer death toll. Did you see the sign?
Oh, I'm gonna look
What was
into
the rally for?
It's unclear to me.
You might want to have a little background about it.
I just have
Jeez,
this was related to the Trump thing. I didn't look into the Whitmer death toll stuff.
I'm sure it was included. I think Trump is crafty. He's got a plan. Yeah, I don't know. But I think that election to go to a military hospital is odd. It's odd. It's odd. What's going on?
I guess the Whitmer death toll is that at government, there's a tweet here at Governor Whitmer released the actual data regarding deaths in senior living facilities.
Speaking of the actual data, what did we hear today, Caitlin? Remember they were talking about the testing. They're going to be moving the testing capacity. So apparently they made the announcement today that they're way behind. They're shutting down testing for this weekend. And they're going to be shipping out these test samples now to other labs. And the immediate question that came to my mind was, how long can a sample sit before it's contaminated or no longer able to be like a true, because there's gold standard. Like if you're going to take a sample and you're going to test it, there's usually like, hey, here's your instructions. You have to have it in, tested, spun, all that crap within this time frame. Otherwise, it's not considered a reliable sample. Whoa. Happened today, came out. How many was there? 90,000? So there's 90,000 like that. And now they're just trying to ramp them through the system. What the heck's going to go on? And then the spit test. We were looking into that a little bit. And it's looking like it's basically going to be the same issues. It's just going to be a quicker thing, but it's still very unreliable. And me and you were talking about this, how months ago there was articles in the United States about this rapid test that they're using and how unreliable it was. Did you end up pulling any of those up by chance?
No, I was looking into it last night because I was looking for something to write about. Ended up doing the Western University thing, but it just what I remember from reading, so I was looking up the accuracy of these rapid tests, and I was like, oh, maybe they're more accurate. Maybe I'll look into it. Searched it up, and there's been multiple articles in the U.S. when they started using these months ago that basically said that they had up to or around a 50% false positive. So basically the same as the nose ones, but I'm not sure. I think are these rapid ones? They're the same. They're the same idea up the nose, but you just get it's like immediate.
No. My understanding was that you spit on them.
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, basically, the issue is you still have. This is why the government loves it. You still have something that gives all these false positives, in my opinion, but it also is something that people aren't scared of, so they might actually do, right? Like, if you didn't know better and somebody said, "Oh, you just got to spit on it. It's not that bad, man." Okay, then so do so. But I also got to look into something. There's something I came across on while studying. Oh, yeah, sorry. You want to pull that up? Can you pull that up? So there's something else we came across in a CBC article. My wife has it in one of her posts. She's going to dig up. It might be a little bit here to get it, but they're starting to report deaths now and admitting they dropped a real big Freudian slip. There was 76 deaths recorded on a given day. And out of that, 74 were from spring. So they're adding in old data now. And then if somebody tests positive, then tests negative, I don't think they take that positive out. It's still included. Can I see? Yeah, go full screen.
Now being recorded as part of the data. This is what I was talking about you earlier, was that they have like this backlog of data that's like basically falsifying the current reports. When people think that the new cases per day, they think, oh, that's yesterday's cases. That's the new cases from yesterday being reported today.
And they have 90,000 like that. And the question is, how are they holding them? How long can you hold it before it's obtained a sample? On and on the list goes. There's so many questions that come around that, like, who's transporting it? Like, just something like that. are you allowing people that aren't actually trained to transport DNA samples and things of that nature? Like, would it be like a guy like me when I used to drive truck? You know, I did electrical delivery. I don't know anything about transporting like vaccines or DNA or anything like that's refrigeration. You got to go through courses. Who's sending it? There's so many ways it could be tainted along the process in this transfer. How long is it sitting? And then they're not really talking about it. They've already scrubbed some numbers and stats. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're quietly doing it.
Does Linda call your wife wifey?
Oh, probably. Probably. Do you want to put that quote up? The one you had up, but I didn't get the read yet because the baby was making noise.
I had something from this Trump
okay, just
Trump thing, and it says the only thing worse than COVID-19 is Biden 20.
It's just cringy.
It's a good play on words, is what that is.
Oh, yeah. The province's official COVID-19 death toll took a considerable jump, increasing 76 to 2927. However, 74 of those deaths were reported for cases that occurred in the spring or summer and now are being recorded as a part of data review and data cleaning initiative. I got to look that up. Actually, write that down, everyone. That's going to be something there's certain buzzwords I catch on to now doing enough research, and that's it. What the hell's the data cleaning initiative?
Is data cleaning meaning like cleaning up the...
Oh, it means they're cleaning up house. What are they cleaning up? Well, they just referred to medical records.
The false positives or something?
Yeah, what are they doing? So now I need to look that up. That might be something coming down the pipe. Data cleaning initiative. Mark it down, crew. Hillier.
My Hillier thing?
Yes.
All right.
This is Canada. Oh, you guys have a baby? We got a lot of babies. We got 3 babies. So many babies.
That baby doesn't really like me that much. I guess I'm not really around it that much, so she doesn't really... I don't know. The 3 times that I've tried
the hair that scares her. She thinks
3 times I've tried to impress that baby and try to make her laugh. She just...
It's because you like never deal with babies and you act like somebody who never deals with babies. You're like, yeah, get away from me.
No. There's a certain age with kids that I actually like kids. When they're like babies, I just can't deal with them. I'm not.
Oh yeah, you're selling yourself to all the young ladies out there that were considering you handsome, eh? Yeah, I'm just saying I'm not going to be a committed father for the first 3 years.
I'm just saying I can change a damn diaper. So.
Oh, yeah, that's what you say now. Man, I got so much skill changing diapers I could do a half asleep. You know what's we talked about this, me and another brother. It's like the grossest thing about being a parent is just how cavalier and comfortable you become. You're like, oh, is she poopy? I don't know. Like, yeah, it smells like it. Okay, back to some research or something. Hillier, that's what it was.
This is in Canada, says Randy Hillier.
Yeah.
From Elizabeth Zogalis on Twitter. So it is. It is a video. It sounds like it's a kind of Quebecian accent. I guess this isn't Quebec, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. Okay. And this, yeah.
To maintain a minimum distance of 2 meters between each of you, except for members of the same family who stay in the same place. Refusing to comply with this order will result in a fine ranging from... You are ordered to maintain a minimum distance of 2 meters between each of you, except for members of the same family who stay in the same place. Refusing to...
So yeah, essentially that's what's happening in Quebec now with their red zones and such.
You give me a minute, I will pull up the new restrictions. Jeez, man, take it easy on the harshness. But I don't know, to the viewers, everybody watching, like, man, how are you going to handle that? Because I was thinking about, man, if we're going to cover that, you know what they said? What's the date on this one? 21st. Put it out like 2 days ago.
So the new Ontario restrictions, they've made
that's this one.
Ottawa,
Okay.
Toronto, York, or what is it? Oh, this is Montreal.
Yeah, so get the hell out of here. Thank you.
Add.
Where to go? So they basically are saying you can't. The only way to get a situation under control is to impose some degree of lockdown. Labos said. So who's Labos? Dr. Christopher Labos, cardiologist and scientific writer for the Montreal Gazette. Of course he is. Well, you paid him to give your opinion, eh? He said the government choices also seem to be based on which activities are deemed to be essential. Seem to be. The government has decided it's important for people to go to work. It's important for people to go to school. It's important for people to have birthday parties. Okay. Yeah, thank you, government. They care. They care. The part I find hard is that we can't go to a library or a museum or a movie theater. And then why should the children be in school without masks when they're much closer than 2 meters apart and they're there for 6 hours a day? It doesn't make any sense. You got that right. She said inconsistency with the government's messaging isn't problematic because it could lead to underestimate the levels of the risk for certain activities. Justify. I think they're doing it for consistency. They're trying to be clear because as it gets cold, it'll be a temptation to go outside so you don't. Oh my gosh. The risk is certainly less outdoors, but it's not zero. This isn't the article I was looking at. There's one that outlines basically every new restriction. Montreal on red alert as of Thursday.
That sounds right.
That sounds right. Is this the one with the Q? How many articles did they do that were similar to this? Places of work will be open for a maximum of 25 people. The province's security is new ways to make sure people are respecting. Yes, here it is. The province's public security department. What the hell is a public security department? Mark it down. Got to do some research. And I'm being serious about this because I don't know. What is a public security department? I've never heard of that before. Public security.
Did you hear Cambridge,
department.
Ontario has hired a private security firm to patrol downtown Cambridge? I think it's probably related to the crack.
Because of drugs? Bullshit. I don't give a shit what it is. You have a police force to do it. You fund them to do it.
Yeah.
Send me that article. Anyways.
They're spending more money on
Of course they are. The province's public security department is looking into new ways of making sure people are respecting the measures that apply to households, he said. So this is, I can't find it. It's not in here. They're basically saying you can't go to somebody else's household now in Quebec in these areas that are under the red zone. You can't even go to their house if you're going to socially distance outside. And now going to a protest, they're going to allegedly mandate social distancing and 2 meters apart and the mask. I hope the people of Quebec do not give into this crap. Legault is going full dictator. I don't give a crap. I'll say it. Just like no reasonability, no justified, nothing. Some people enjoy the summer. It's a question of balance. I understand people have to come back to a normal life, but we got to do it gradually. Yeah. And your amplification's way up on the test and you've tripled the testing. You're a good guy. I get it. Quebec also announced a slight change in its testing approach Monday. Here we go. They're going to return to the long lineups that once overwhelmed testing clinics. The province now asking people only to get tested if they're experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. What are COVID-19 symptoms? Every cough, sniffle, and anything. Basically, cough, flu symptoms. Yeah, those are the same symptoms. People who do not fall into one of those categories do not need to be screened in order to optimize screening for those infected. Blah, 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 blah. Big nothing, big guys. Still not the article I wanted. But basically, you can't do anything, and they're allegedly going to be able to go and do compliance checks house to house. Combine that with the knowledge that I've been following up or been trying to follow up with Onyx, and I said to Onyx, they're the ones making the quarantine facilities for their clients in Alberta. I said to them in Leduc, Alberta, I said, well, what happens if somebody refuses and they say the test is unreliable and leave the facility? What would happen? Well, you have to contact Alberta Public Health. You know what that means? And by the way, Alberta Public Health, here I am. You won't answer me. I've emailed you. I've called you. Come on, answer the freaking message. What are you going to do? Are you going to find someone? You're going to jail them? What are you going to do if they left the facility? What would you do? Is there a mechanism for debating whether or not they deem they're sick? I have no symptoms. Oh, you're tested positive. Well, okay, is that what we're going to do? The mechanisms are in place. We have a lot of freaking questions to ask. Seriously, what is a public security department? Ask the question.
On that note, I found it very interesting to be talking with my coworker today, an older woman, probably in her 50s or 60s. I'd say probably 50s. She seems like she's kind of woken up to what's going on, and we were talking about cases versus deaths and all this stuff. I vaguely remember the conversation, but what I kind of took from it was that
Hey,
people are more woken up than I actually think.
I think so. I think people are looking for those courageous types to give them their voice.
Well, I think, yeah, exactly. They're like quiet about it, but
There's a lot of people that are seeing cracks in the surface. I mean, it's clear to most people, unless you become so entrenched in your thinking because you don't want to look at the other side. Like somebody pointed out my flu article. They're like, well, do you think maybe the flu disappeared because of all the social distancing and hand washing? And I went, okay, no. Like, are you kidding me? Stuff doesn't disappear just because of good practice. And it's not like everybody's doing good practice. Give me a break. It's much more likely that, you have public health agencies early on that were admitting, hey, these similar symptoms, remember Toronto Public Health? We're going to consider anybody who has these symptoms COVID positive. That happened. Okay, where'd the flu go? I think I know.
that's what's probably going to happen at my work this winter. That's literally what they ask. Do you have a runny nose? Do you have a sore throat? Like we talked about this the other night. And I don't know. Like if I get sick with the common flu.
You say my car broke down. I'll be back when I can afford to fix it.
I'll just be banking my if I'm sick, and I know if I go in, I'm gonna have to go home. I'll just call in one of my emergency days and just make up some BS so I get paid.
Well, Caitlin, my wife, she called around to a bunch of temp agencies that won't give a job. Oh, we can't accommodate you if you're not going to wear a mask. Yep. Well, buckle in. You don't sign on to the New World Order. You don't get to participate in the world, okay? Yeah. Anyways, it's become so ridiculous. Oh, it's not based on any evidence. And I think what's happening is it's perhaps going to make its way through the courts. And before it can get there, let's double down on the fear. Let's double down on the narrative. And they're just going to ramp this shit up full steam ahead. Doug, the people of Ontario see your crap. We can see you lying every day when you come out. We know you're reading from a script. And who's the person you're all staring at? Is it a teleprompter or is it a person? Go back, watch the CPAC coverage today. Don't think I'm crazy. Everybody who went up to that podium, read, look. Read, look. Who the hell are you looking at? Okay? We don't get to know who the experts are, so maybe there's an expert in the room giving them to Dawn, Hey! Oh, you understand what I'm going to say? Okay. Oh, even my bro who's military incel seems to be drinking the Kool-Aid. Well, intel is a very isolated form of military, so no, depending on what sector of intel he's in, he's probably not privy to any information actually going on. And if he's not going to look at all the relevant sources and look outside of the approved mainstream media, it's not a hard steer to think he would fall in line. Go ahead.
I had actually on COVID testing, I had a little article.
Okay.
From news18.com.
Ooh,
I don't really know what this website is, but
I think it's Fox News. It's like an extension.
Oh, probably.
Fox News 18, like a local.
A COVID-19 nasal swab test punctured woman's brain lining and leaked brain fluid from her nose. So essentially, she had a prior surgery done a few years prior. I think it was either a nasal surgery or some sort of brain. It was.
Okay, where? Went unnoticed in old scans reviewed by her doctors who carried out the surgery to repair. She has since fully recovered.
In fact, the woman has been treated years earlier in intracranial hypertension, meaning that the pressure from the cerebral spinal fluid that protects that nourishes the brain was too high. I don't understand what.
But she had an underlying condition. The question really, that's bad. Who was doing it? Were they properly trained? Question number 1. 2, was her medical history disclosed? Did they know? And were they qualified to make the assessment on whether she could go through with that form of test? There might be a lawsuit a brewing.
Well, what they were saying is what I didn't get to finish saying was
Again, a little stab.
was that if that hadn't been treated, if that her what's it? Her brain lining hadn't been fixed, and that she was and such, she could have developed a potentially life-threatening brain infection, and or it could have had air could have entered her skull, and it could have placed excess pressure on her brain, et cetera, right? And this is what a lot of people have been joking about when it comes to COVID testing. Oh, you pricked my brain a little bit.
Little tickle. Saw. Little tickle. All right. Is it time? Do you have anything else ready? Or am I busting Rocky?
I got some Western alienation, but I'll maybe save
Let's
that
do
for
that.
the movie.
No, we're ending on Rocky. We're ending on.
I got a few other things though. So like I think
Let's go.
they're like short things.
All right.
Greg Wycliffe was tweeting about the whole mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, Canadian political theater is so boring. The U.S. is an exciting the U.S. is exciting like a blockbuster film about the world.
Just read it, man. You don't need to do this news cast voice.
Okay. Blockbuster film about the end of the world. Canadian political theater is like a made-up for TV movie about a lost puppy. No one watches or cares about the vapid nonsense. So like it's just about Jagmeet Singh calling out Donald Trump for not. There's no video. It's not relevant. Okay, basically, I'm not done. Holy crap! Slow down. So about Donald Trump not condemning white supremacist groups, and then he goes, Trump has condemned this stuff many times. Leftists perpetuate this boogeyman as much as possible because of their phony narrative of being against the races is all they have. And there's a video from, actually I didn't even get that one up. There's a video from Maxime Byrne or Dave Rubin. Maxime Bernier retweeted it though. And he was talking about there's two videos, each from the last election and in this election of Dick Wolf asking him the exact same question on here it is.
David Duke just joined, a bigot, a racist, a problem.
Would you repudiate David Duke?
Sure. David Duke and robocalls are out again. The white supremacist movement supporting you. Do you have any words for that?
Well, I disavow. David Duke endorsed me. Okay. All right. I disavow. Okay.
When we looked at it and looked at the question, I disavowed David Duke. So I've disavowed David Duke all weekend long on Facebook, on Twitter, and obviously it's never enough.
So are you prepared right now to make a clear and unequivocal statement renouncing the support of all white supremacists?
Of course I am. Of course I am.
When Chris joined, we had a news conference, and they asked me the exact same question. I said, I disavow. I disavowed then. I disavowed today on ABC with George Stephanopoulos.
Essentially, he's been asked multiple times. There's something else.
Hey,
this is a different video, but it's relevant. Essentially, he's been asked multiple times about whether or not he'll disavow these white supremacists.
Yeah.
The media is not covering it, and they'll just keep trying to make him sound like he is a racist.
Yep.
So media bias.
Okay. Is that
I found the video.
Totally disavow.
So this is in 2016.
Totally disavow.
Oh, I did
the
pause.
Ku Klux Klan. I totally disavow David Duke. I've been doing it now for 2 weeks. This is you're probably about the 18th person that's asked me the question. It was very clear. That question was also talked about in the form of groups. Groups. I want to know, which groups are you talking about? You have to tell me which groups. Ultimately, he got to the Ku Klux Klan, which obviously I'm going to disavow. And by the way, if you look on my Twitter account, almost immediately after the
All right.
program, they were disavowed again.
There's two parts to this. Okay, hold up.
Okay. Yeah, we get it.
You know what I mean, right? Like,
Yes, we know what you mean. No, the question's not fair to begin with. You don't ask somebody like, tell me, like, disavow this. Disavow white supremacy. Well, the implication is that you're a white supremacist, so you somehow have to defend yourself. He's done plenty of work with the black community before he ran for president, and he still does. I'm not even saying I'm a fan of the guy because I don't want anybody to know what I actually think about anybody. But I'm just saying, you got to be fair. You got to look at the record for what it is. Tomorrow at noon, Dundas Square, Toronto, demonstration against lockdowns. Be there. Please announce this. Mike Arasta. I don't think we will be there. There's what's the date? October 16th. I want to say it's October 16th. We will be there. Ultimately, Mike, for us, every time we come down, it is about $60 trip between parking, between gas, and if we want to grab a bite to eat. So it's not easy for us to go down. We would go down more often if we could, but it's a huge commitment for us to go. All right. You ready? Did you learn anything today?
oh, we're getting into this, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Did you learn anything today?
A little bit, but not much from what you've already told me. So
You just you had a chance to pump up my article and promote it. Here's the volley.
you kind of just
Right. That's all you had to do.
before I even get to edit your articles, you call me and then you talk on the phone with me for 20 minutes about it, and then I have to go edit the same thing you just told me about.
That's how I know. That's how I know I did a good job. But he's done more for the Canadian economy than Trudeau's. I mean, honestly, what was the pipeline thing? I was thinking of the Aaron O'Toole thing. Just I just remind me of the Conservatives. We're gonna change. We got to get Trudeau out. And then the first day, basically, as a leader, Aaron O'Toole goes, meets Legault, and he's like, yeah, we're not doing that Energy East pipeline. He's like, okay, that's enough for me. Okay, that's all right. Okay. All right.
Doing a pipeline with Alaska and Alberta. I think it was, or BC and Alberta. Alaska.
Sure. All right, here we go. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I don't know about anybody else, but oh my goodness, get gone. Okay. Operation Lockstep, hypothetical scenario reality. So to preface this, Operation Lockstep is a scenario planning exercise or something that was written over a decade ago, a decade ago in 2010. It gave 4 different scenarios, and one of them was called Operation Lockstep. So there's 4: Lockstep, Clever Together, Smart Scramble, Hack Attack, all based on the adaptive capacity and political and economic alignments of the world, essentially, in their estimation. So first things first, is it just hypothetical scenarios? I go through that directly from the paper itself. So there it is. So right from the beginning of the Rocket Pirate, it's telling you 4 hypothetical scenarios. I say hypothetical in quotations. As you read it, you'll understand why. So right from the beginning, rather, as you read the scenarios, this is what it says. Think of them as a journey. 4 journeys into a future that is relevant, thought-provoking, and possible. So think of these scenarios as relevant, thought-provoking, and possible. The report goes on to say scenarios are a medium. Scenarios are a medium through which change is not only envisioned, but also actualized. The more closely you read them, the more likely it becomes that you will recognize their important but less obvious implications to you, your work, and your community. So by doing these scenarios, you're going to recognize their implications to you, meaning what? You're going to recognize pattern recognition, essentially. And you might recognize its importance to you, your work, and your community. goes down. So the Rockefeller Foundation is prominent supporters of the agenda for sustainable development. There are 17 goals in this agenda, and the sustainable development agenda is related to the Millennium Development Goals. Goes into that. You can go there, research a little bit more. There's lots of good links in here. The report's preamble concluded with, "We strongly encourage you to share and discuss this report widely. Use it as a springboard for further creative thinking about how technology could shape development, and test and adjust your strategies or personal actions accordingly." Okay, test and adjust your strategies accordingly and use this as a springboard for further creative thinking. This doesn't sound like a hypothetical scenario. The report also reminds the reader that this ability to adapt can mean proactively managing existing systems and structures and ensure the resilience against external forces, as well as the ability to reform those systems and structures. So keep in mind that what they're describing in this scenario in Operation Lockstep happens under a pandemic. Okay, a little bit different. Here we go. Operation Lockstep is described as a world of tighter down authoritarian control with more authoritarian leadership, limited innovation, and growing citizen pushback. China's investment, okay, here's right from direct quotes from the report itself. China's investment in Africa expanded as the bargain of new jobs and infrastructure exchange for key minerals and food exports agreeable to many governments. Well, the deployment of foreign security teams was welcomed in some of the most dire failed states. Foreign security teams ties into the Strong Cities Network, where this is actually a UN initiative to have UN police forces police. So there you have it. In this hypothetical scenario, the deployment of foreign security teams was welcomed. Okay, 2 quick points. China actually has dumped significant investment into Africa. We know this. Implications for Africa's from China's One Belt Road Initiative. Links directly to the website. You can go in there and learn some more about that. The use of foreign security teams is already being discussed through the Strong Cities Initiative. This is directly from Attorney General Loretta E. Lynch announcing the launch of the Strong Cities Initiative, or Strong Cities Network rather, at the United Nations General Assembly in New York, New York, on Tuesday, September 29th in 2015. Says, I have seen firsthand how local authorities can serve on the front lines of our defense against violent extremism. Now, it sounds like local authorities, sounds like police, but listen closely. Next line. As residents and experts in their communities, local leaders are often best positioned to pinpoint sources of unrest and discord, best equipped to identify signs of potential danger, and best able to recognize and accommodate community. So it goes on. By creating a series of partnerships that draws on this knowledge and expertise, we can create a more effective response to this virulent threat. Again, where's that idea of a foreign police come in? Well, as residents and experts in their community, they are best positioned. They're talking about bringing them into the fold somehow. You can go look that up. It will come up again for more research. It's a very deep article. The scenario continues. Even those who liked this grew uncomfortable and constrained because they were constrained by so many tight rules and by the strictness of national boundaries. Okay, points of connection. Scenario admits that the world was constrained by many tight rules. COVID has allowed government to institute many new rules, such as mandatory face masks. COVID tests also are now required for admission for hospital procedures. And from there, you can continue in. It gets good. I'm going to, one more. Okay. You want to know how crazy the overlap of this is? And there's still this is not even half the article, just so you know. Yeah, it was a lot. About 6-8 hours of research and another 4 I type in this one. I hope everyone enjoys it. Manisha so this was a hypothetical scenario about life in lockstep. The woman's name was Manisha. She's in India. Manisha has joined the GPI in 2020, in part because she was so impressed by the government's strong stance on restoring the ecological health of India's most treasured resource. Many lives in her home city of Jaipur have been saved by the government's quarantines during the pandemic. And that experience, thought Manisha, had given the government the confidence to be so strict about river usage. In this scenario, she thinks the government, the quarantines gave the government the confidence to finally clean up the Ganges River because all those dirty cultural practices that were associated with it. Finally gave the government the courage to just drop the hammer and do whatever they wanted to do. So it's a great read. That's not even a half of the article. I hope everybody enjoys it. Please share the crap out of it. And I wanted to bring up one more thing. New World Order, play by play. Thank you. That's right. I got more. I got 3 more scenarios to cover because there's Operation Lockstep, Clever Together, Hack Attack, a bunch of crap. I'm going to tie it all in. That's part 1 of 4. Get ready. Buckle up, buckaroos. And then I'm going to go into the UN Agenda 2030 and into the Sustainable Development Goals.
Shall we space these articles out about maybe 2 a week or maybe once a week?
I don't know. Maybe once a week. You realize, me getting an article out yesterday was an act of will. Okay. I finished like 6 hours of research, 6.5 hours of research. And then I decided, I'm like, no, I said I'm going to write an article every day. Then I sat down and dug through and wrote that article. But it's about a 10-hour article. So my hope when writing this is it's such a heavy conspiratorial topic that I wanted somebody to be able to look at this information and go, that does lead me to a lot of questions. That is kind of weird. So you have a scenario planning exercise that was written 10 years ago. And then the one Lockstep in particular is about a quarantine pandemic. And they're using this quarantine and this pandemic to achieve all these sustainable development goals. And then 192 countries have actually signed on to those sustainable development goals. And then it's telling you, like, use this as a springboard for creative thinking and adjust your strategy accordingly. That's not a scenario anymore. Like, that's a freaking guideline. That's like a help book, right? For somebody that knows what the UN agenda and all those initiatives are. But we'll cut it there.
Any leftists will look at this and be like, oh, well, Snopes debunked it, so it's not true.
Snopes debunked it. That means you must be.
You know how many times I've heard that from my classmates?
Okay, you know how easy it is to debunk Snopes? Like, a lot of times Snopes will be like false, and then you read it and it's like, well, it's kind of false. And then you're like, well, why'd you put false? Because kind of true doesn't really work for what we're doing here.
You know, in my last month of school, they had a CBC journalist come onto the Zoom class and basically give us a seminar on fact checking.
Okay, seminar. I'm genuinely curious.
I mean, I didn't really care enough for it because essentially he was teaching us tools and things to use to fact check things like reverse image databases, which are useful.
Well, reverse image databases, that's when you look to see if something's been edited, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. Those are very handy because then you can tell if something's a genuine photo or if somebody's added and edited something in.
Stuff like the Wayback Machine you can use, which you can use on social media pages and people's social media pages. So you can put in say Trudeau or Trump's Twitter page, and then you can search keywords on their Twitter page, and it'll bring up every tweet with those keywords from every time that they posted.
So I wonder that.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was kind of a joke of a.
Yeah, no, well, the fact checking is important, but it's kind of a joke to have CBC teach it. CBC has 0 journalists, they're puppets. Yeah, I think anybody who stays at the CBC long term definitely is sold. Yeah. I think there's still some people that try to write some truth, but it doesn't come through at all on the other end. If they're, and then even then it's not hard hitting. They'll it's fluff.
I've seen a lot of those articles kind of pointing out the truths in Ontario and Doug Ford and all that kind of stuff. I've seen a lot of those coming out recently from the National Post. Even recently, the Leslyn Lewis one.
Oh, you got that article?
It's by a woman named Leslyn Lewis, but I don't know if it is the Leslyn Lewis. It's unclear because they have no author page. It was just, this article is just talking about there was a socialist coup unfolding in Canada, and we, the taxpayers, are funding it. The key part I wanted to kind of talk about was Trudeau has stated clearly that he wants Canada to be a post-national country. He is perceived as an evangelist for the new type of the 21st century socialism, a quiet and bloodless revolution that seeks to control our lives through economic dependency. Under this socialist revolution, there is no need to confiscate your property. They can simply redistribute your wealth through home equity tax, confiscate your hunting firearms, and repurchase, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, reverse bank balance part of that too.
Many Canadians rightly fear the repercussions of Trudeau's transforming Canada into a cashless society. They have told me that they are afraid that the Liberals will impose social credit scores similar
buddy.
to in China, where people's behaviors are monitored through 5G cameras. For this reason, they also stress the COVID Alert app.
I'll pitch you something. Social credit score system purely for the political elite.
But they
We
say
only monitor everything they do and give them a social credit score. And when they've been too bad, they go to jail.
it's like Black Mirror. There's literally an episode of Black Mirror on that.
Yeah.
You're probably hoping for some good news by the end of this piece, and here it is. We are the good news. We still have a democracy. For Trudeau to remake Canada into a socialist state, he'd have to go through us first. He cannot do that if we engage, vote, and volunteer.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Justin Trudeau is paying $90,000 of your tax dollars for someone to be his storyteller. Yep, I heard about this one.
I think it came in from True North. I saw it there first, but I don't know if they first reported it. Yeah, so if you want to be a storyteller for the, you guess you want to.
No. Not storyteller. Professional bullshitter.
Well, I mean, somebody.
Can you lie? Can you lie with a straight face?
Somebody tweeted about it. Want $90K? Have some stories to tell about Trudeau? Apply here. Oh, we got
requirements. Must have sold to Satan. It's like,
must be.
I don't know. That's a pretty good paycheck.
To basically be like a government journalist, basically that's all it is, right? Just to be working with the government, like much of the mainstream. But
what do you tell yourself?
Yeah, but you're telling stories of Trudeau. You're getting $90K a year. That's some pretty good cash.
They couldn't pay me enough. They could pay me $90 million. I'd be like, is there a way I could still just hate them?
If I could say whatever I wanted,
I wanted? No.
if I could say whatever I wanted to say, I'd take that with like a $50K. I'd split that in half, $45K.
You would never be able to.
I don't need them.
That's like it might as well be like not even.
No, if I could say what I wanted to say,
it won't happen. You can say what you want to say here.
What I'm saying is, if I was to have a job like that, I wouldn't need the $90K.
Hey, take it easy. Not every reporter is paid to lie. Not every reporter. We try. So I wanted to bring this up. During my research, some interesting off-topic stuff came up. I started researching the people that put together the research, and it was interesting what they were researching. Other stuff. Included in that, nano flavorings. You ever heard of them?
You were telling me about these, and I don't really understand what any of this shit is.
So nanoparticles are like extremely small particles, and the thought process is using these extremely small particles and using them in other forms of manufacturing. So for instance, you can make a car stronger using nanoparticles from carbon instead of just using straight carbon. This brings the cost down, but there's some side effects. And one of the things is nano flavorings in food. Not nano flavorings. Obviously, it's in food, but there's also just nanoparticles. Nano flavorings in food. This is what I wanted to show you. Where'd it go? Hey, come on, Rook.
Hey, Faye's here.
Well, hey.
Already, but
okay, here we go. So this guy's trying to talk about how great it is. So tomato ketchup, for example, is made from tiny particles dispersed in water. While the fatty grains of while the fatty grains of powdered coffee creamer are coated with nanoparticles of silica to stop them sticking together. I don't remember ever reading silica on coffee creamer. Do you?
Should I get my coffee creamer upstairs and we'll read the ingredients?
Yeah. And then, for instance, he goes on, take mayonnaise. It contains minuscule droplets of oil. By replacing the insides of the oil droplet with water, we can cut the fat content of the mayonnaise by 15% without affecting how it tastes or feels. So he's trying to give you all these good things, but that one with the whole like silica, stopping them from sticking together, that stuck out to me because it's silica, my understanding, and if it's the thing I'm thinking of, is used as a preservative when they send like packages and stuff. No, a little silica package, silica gel. Might be a different silica, but hey, come on, get with the program.
Stuff that's like deadly if you eat the whole packet, kind of thing. Like it soaks up. Is it deadly? I don't know. I always got told it was deadly when I was younger. Don't eat. It says that.
Do not eat. So it's not good.
I remember that one time. I thought it was salt or pepper.
Margarine is only one molecule away from plastic. So is cheese. Cheese is one ingredient away. Or not normal cheese, sliced cheese.
So I don't usually buy margarine, but I do eat it from time to time.
Why do you hate yourself? That's what I think of when I think of margarine.
It's kind of good on pancakes, to be honest.
The jealous slip in the video today.
The gel slip.
Jealous.
Oh, find it.
I did.
Okay, yeah, go play it. No, there's wait just a second. Got to prelude it. From the announcement today, yeah, butter's the real deal, Faye. That's right. Get your shite together, brush.
I never have my butter out of the fridge, so I have to like get it on room temperature, or else it just doesn't work.
Hard knock life, Annie. From today, the premiere Freudian slip. Somebody's jealous.
No, Matt and
yeah, I know. Play it.
Jealous.
Today, Junior.
A big bold thing of his face on there. Hashtag jealous. Oh, what's happening?
You got it muted. It's muted. Can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Rocky.
Send it to Greg, and maybe then it'll work.
I can tell you where it is.
Yeah, send it to me and then tell me where it is. Gotta prove.
Faye, I forgot to buy your dad beer when I was at the LCBO. I heard it say we were talking about the Dab beer.
Oh, I thought you said dad beer. I'm like, what the hell's dad beer? Like, what?
No.
Oh, I forgot to get that dad beer. What?
I heard it's like a stouty beer, like a dark beer. Is that true? Because I'm not sure if I'd like that as much.
Like a Pilsner-ish.
Oh, a Pilsner?
39 minutes.
Pilsner or lager? 39? 39 and feeling fine. Okay. Okay, I'm looking.
I told him I'd try it out.
Yeah, you didn't, though.
No, yeah. I forgot when I was there.
Go.
I got my usual Kronenberg and left.
Yeah, you're. Sorry, where? 35?
39.
39.
Called you last night. What was it? 10, 11 o'clock at night, just to tell Matt, keep your head up, buddy. You're doing great, and we're all behind you. So I'll pass it over to Matt Anderson.
I'm sorry. Look at this dude's freaking smile the whole time. I'm gonna play that back. Dude's got a smirk on his face the whole time. Whoa, good job, buddy. Whoa, I really appreciate the job you're doing. Just like.
Just stellar. I think I called you last night. What was it? 10, 11 o'clock at night, just to tell Matt, keep your head up, buddy. You're doing great, and we're all behind you. So I'll pass it over.
Thanks for hiding my secrets.
No,
great job.
Premier, as I said, I believe he's a little more generous than he needs to be. But thank you.
Do you see Doug's eyes? Look at Doug's eyes. Oh, sorry. One more time.
The real words come out.
As I said, I believe he's a little more generous than he needs to be. But thank you. To your question, in terms of what we're going to be able to do.
Please play that one more time.
It's like a bad fall. You can't stop watching, isn't it?
Oh, man.
Just to tell Matt, keep your head up, buddy. You're doing great, and we're all behind you. So
stop! It's like, what is that? Dude's a professional. He's got a lifelong, like a great career, and his head's down. I'm really proud of you. Like he's like a dad-son pep talk before he brings them.
Don't tell them. It's too much if they know.
Premier, as I said, I believe he's a little more generous than he needs to be. But thank you. To your question,
I see Doug's eyes, a little quick eyebrow raise. Oh man.
Can we end the night off? I really want to watch that raging humanist shear the man.
And okay, we got to prelude that for the viewers at home. This is not an endorsement. What else? Lots of swearing and mature themes are expressed. If that's not for you, it's been a great night, and we thank you for tuning in. But yeah, I would love to hear that again.
I'll finish off with my last thing about. We'll talk about Suncor and their laying off of 2,000 employees.
You have the video of Rage?
I can bring that up, but I want to talk about Suncor first.
Okay. Well,
you get. I'll talk about Suncor. You get the video.
Okay. Pitter patter.
So, energy giant Suncor plans to shed 2,000 employees in Calgary. It's a really simple article. I'll read all of it because why not? We could give Greg some time to get that up. I have read this, but yeah, it's like really simple. So they're going to lay off 10 to 15% of their workforce within the next year and a half. But 2,000 people will lose their job. The company says that the reduction could come through early retirement and voluntary severance packages. The first wave of cuts will happen within the next 6 months. Suncor Energy is the third large energy company to announce staffing cuts this week, with Shell and Marathon Oil making similar decisions. So basically, I don't know if this is technically Western alienation, but it seems to be happening with a lot of oil companies, and that's kind of the deal with Alberta right now. As Alberta is kind of getting the short end of the stick, and kind of, All right, so
I'm ready.
Are we ending it off on this? Do you have anything else? Or?
I mean, I'm probably gonna laugh for 15 minutes and talk about it for that long. So we'll see. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay, you prelude. Let's go.
There is no need to prelude this. 7 minutes. I hope everybody enjoys this as much as we have.
7?
Yeah.
The whole thing, I think. Well, maybe
you got to play the whole thing.
Contains coarse language, politically incorrect, wrong thinking, facts intended for a mature, non-NPC audience. Viewer discretion and robust liver strongly advised.
What happened? Wrong kid died. Aaron O'Toole will definitely save us.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Results delayed for hours. They were delayed for several hours because the machine used to open ballots. Envelopes damaged several thousand voting cards. Oh, the machine did it. Oh, we've got our masks on, is it? That's another thing. Oh, your fucking mask with your little face diaper. Yeah, throw that away. I don't ever want to see. If I see you out on the street with a mask on, I'm going to punch you in the face. I'll punch you in the face repeatedly until you're unconscious, gurgling out your own chickens on the ground like a chicken. That's going to be you if I see you with a mask on, eh? Hey? All right. Now, carry on. I've got a lot of cocaine to do with an evil goat. Go back. He says he knows a guy. Oh, he does know a guy. Former conservative deputy leader.
We'll skip a little.
It clearly says Derek Sloan. They're awesome.
Okay. Oh, too far.
Tell me that's not what his face. I guess we can't read that it clearly says Derek Sloan, can we? What are you gonna do? And here's Andrew Scheer. He can't keep a straight face. He's lying. Purdy's in great shape. She's fucking looking good, boys. That's how you do the Andrew Scheer face. You say something you know is definitely not true and try not to stop yourself from laughing. Tell me that's not what his face looks like all the time. I love the Liberal Party. They're fucking great. No, seriously, they're awesome. Hi, Justin. How are you? Great job. Maybe that's just how he gets through life. Mother always said, don't say anything mean. Just suck it in, Andrew. He's like Ned Flanders. He's going to go on a fucking rampage.
Here it is.
That's where I lost it the first time.
There we go. I knew I'd find it.
Yes.
There we are. There you go, Raj.
And the music plays.
And this is where the gold begins.
I watch this on like a weekly basis.
Are you ready? All right, shut up.
Up in a suit his entire life. Always told.
Be nice, Andrew. Smile, Andrew. Put on a happy face, Andrew.
Andrew tried his best at everything he did.
From Mr. Trudeau.
What happens when Andrew takes off the collar?
I've had just about enough of this. Andrew looks really angry. He's a disturbingly large man. Have you noticed?
I didn't know he was.
I'm really tired of smiling all the time.
When the smiles run out, the killing starts.
He can't be stopped! Where did he get an empty cow?
You all laughed at me. Well, I'm still smiling.
Andrew, stop this!
This summer, when a man is pushed to his limits and forced to endure the impossible, he will unleash a fire that consumes us all. Andrew Shear, Man on Fire.
I went just about done with this!
Can we just casually?
That's a good spot. Oh, I hope everybody enjoyed that.
Anybody find that funny, or is it just kind of like
Oh no, I feel like you have to really like understand all the political stuff with him.
You just gotta understand that Andrew Shear smiles way too damn much, and it's kind of creepy.
Just that comment about him being like, "Do you ever realize how large he is?" And he's 6'4".
6'4"? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's got a 50 cal. And just like the forced smile thing, it's like, oh, it's so true. The dude always looks like he's forcing mouth.
Here's 1.93 meters. 1.93 meters is Andrew Shear.
Okay, what? Like what? Give me like a real number. Like,
all right, 6'4".
Yeah. So you went with the American? Just cause? Okay. Because they are the ones that know how to. So okay, do we? Any comments? Any comments? Cheese slices is oil. Yeah, I don't know. We haven't really.
I'm 6 foot.
Cheese slices in our house for like a decade. What?
Trump's 6'3", so.
Yeah, I feel that tall. Yeah, it's never gonna work for me.
Nobody's counting. Do we still have viewers?
Of course, we still have viewers. You dink.
I was just wondering if people.
No, there is no comment.
I wonder if people found this fun. Good.
Yeah, see, that's your cue. Wrap it up. Where's that at?
But Faye, did you find that funny?
Yo, B, it's like that Chappelle sketch. Wrap it up. Okay. Diverge Media. Wrap it up.
Just put me on the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If you'd like to support independent journalism, visit. My roommate are pranking me right now. What's going on? All right. Why am I on the live stream by myself right now? All right. Good night.
Greg left. Wrap it up.
When you just like. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Ciao. bastard. Aw.